Gotta be kidding me.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate, go your own way, I won't wait.
Welcome to These Nuts Garage, and yep, it's that time. Got to replace the battery on the 2018 Ford Edge Sport. Alrighty, like I said in the intro, what we're going to be doing today is replacing the battery on this 2018 Ford Edge Sport. Now, it seems like when these Ford cars go bad, the battery will kind of give you maybe a day's notice, and then next thing you know, it's just shot. So, this battery is a T5 battery. I've also done a video on how to replace a battery in a Ford Fusion. I think this is the same type of battery that was in that car. But I'm going to do a little bit more in-depth video on this one, how to take it apart, put it back in, because I had such a response from that previous video. People wanted to see a more in-depth video. Well, when I made that video, I figured everybody knew how to change a battery, so I didn't really put a lot of effort in it. So today we're going to put just a little bit more effort in this video and showing you how to replace this. Now, this may translate to a lot of other Ford vehicles, Fusions, the Edges, maybe a Taurus, I don't know. But the one thing about that Fusion that I had, or I still have, was nobody would replace the battery for me. So if you went to AutoZone, they said they wouldn't replace it. It needed to go to a dealership to have it done. And I just replaced the battery and was like, well, I don't get it. So, but I did come to find out later that they do say once you replace your battery, you need to take it to the Ford place and have them reset the computer so the computer knows you have a new battery and not an old battery, because it charges it differently. So I'm going to do, as some people say on the internet, I'm going to do the right thing and not do that. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unhook the battery for a few hours. I have to take the battery out and go to the town to get a battery, and while I'm gone I'll probably go to church and then come back home and put this battery back in. And it's probably going to take, it'll probably be sitting maybe 2.5 to 3 hours. So maybe that'll kind of clear the computer, and then when I hook the new battery up, the computer will go, hey, it's a new battery, and we're going to charge it the right way. But if not, if you wanted to go to Walmart or wherever it is to get you a battery and go buy a new battery and install it yourself, and then maybe swing by the Ford place and see what they would charge you to reset the computer so that way it knows that there's a new battery in the system. So that's the warning on this. If you do this, that's the call that you're going to have to make, whether to take it to Ford or not. I'm just going to leave the battery unhooked for a few hours and then put the new battery in it and roll on. Because that's what I did with my Fusion, and I've never had a problem since. Now, first things first, we're going to need one of these when we get our new battery. So I'm just going to sit that over here or throw it on the ground. We're also going to need some of this battery corrosion preventative for when we get our new battery. We can put some of this on it to help keep it from corroding. All right, so down here you have a bolt. I think that's an 8mm or maybe a 9. Well, let's just see if it's an 8. If it is, this is not going to work. Looks to be an 8, but I think this socket is messed up. So we want to remove this bolt down here first, and what that's going to do is remove the locking bracket. It's a pretty long little bolt, you can see. They must think that it's gonna come loose somehow. So once you remove that bolt, what I'm gonna go ahead and do, slide this battery forward, because now we can actually see our ground back there. Now we want to be careful, because with the way this is set up, your positive is up here and your ground is way back there. Let me see what, that socket is probably a 10. Anybody help me find my 10mm socket? Them little pesky rascals. That's a 9. Oh, where is my 10mm? Why did it leave me here all alone? Well, try to use a 10mm deep well. That's the only thing I got. And I'll show you this little nut when I pull this battery out, where it goes. There's a cable that goes on top of it. So here's a little nut. And then here's our ground cable right there. So the nut went on a stud that's right there, like that. Like I said, I always like removing my grounds first. And then this here is also a 10. Just gonna loosen it up just a smidge. And it should come off. Now we're just gonna try to push them back there out of the way, because this doesn't have a go handle or nothing. And you basically just kind of got to pick this little battery up. I mean, I guess you could remove this, but we're not going to. We're just going to try to bring her on out. Come on, fella. Oh, this is a little tougher. A little tough fella. Just like that. Look, I done cut myself fooling with this thing. All right, so here on my ground, that part of the cable went on that little nut, that little bolt or stud, and then it just come off like that. All right, so once we get our battery off, bleeding all over the place, sorry. Should have wore gloves. That's the safety thing. I should have had on my gloves. I wouldn't have done this, and I should be wearing safety glasses. We're going to remove this bolt, loosen it up a little bit. And what that's going to do is allow us to loosen up. For the love of Pete, what is that thing? People say for the love of Pete. Who is Pete? I don't know. I'm just going to try to wiggle this. Oh, Lord, I'm going to have to go to the doctor. Okay, we're just going to take it all the way off. Loosen it up as best we can. All right, I went and got some kind of little pry bar. Maybe that'll help. Oh no, it's got some funny attachment on it. And this is really why you don't want to fight with this thing while it's in the car. Just wait till you get it out. Get this battery out of the way. All right, so we have this piece right here. It's pretty clean, but you do want to check it to make sure there's not any corrosion on it anywhere, which it's pretty clean. Same thing with our positive wire. Looks pretty clean. And that's what this tool is for. It will clean the top post, or if you pull this upper piece out, it'll also clean within inside of these. So we're just going to kind of scratch it around in there. Clean it up a little bit. Same thing. Now we'll run to the store, pick up our new battery, and come back and reinstall it. Alrighty, so we're back from the Walmart. We basically got us a MAXX EverStart T5, 650 cold cranking amps, and it even has the old carrying handle there. This has caps for your positive and negative terminals. So what I'm going to do is take the negative off, and we're just going to leave the positive on there for now till we get it into place. Now, one thing we're going to be using is this stuff, kind of coats the terminals and to keep it from corroding. All right, got that on there. What we're going to do is go ahead and put our negative terminal back on here, because it's just going to be a lot easier to do. Just going to tighten it up. Good and tight. Now, just going to try to push these cables back so that way we can just slip this down in there. Now, I guess you could take this cover off and take this air box off, but I'm not going to. It's just, and again, maybe I am. Oh, I'm not. We're gonna get her in there. Just gonna drop it down in the battery tray. We're gonna hook up our negative battery cable first, because it's just so far back here. Get our little 10mm bolt. I guess that was a 10mm nut. Well, come on now. There she goes. Snug it up. Pop this little cap off. We'll hook up our positive terminal. Tighten it up. Going to take our battery, push it all the way forward. Going to take our plate, and if you can see it, let me hold this up there a little bit. You can read it the way it's correctly installed. So when you put it in there, you're going to be able to read it. It's not going to be upside down. It just says Ford Moco, and you'll be able to just place it in there like that on the edge of that battery. Let me see if I can zoom in down here. You can see this hole right there is what we're going to be lining up with it. Get our bolt. I think we said that was an 8mm. Let's go ahead and put our cap back on here. It had kind of fallen off. Put that on there where it's supposed to be. Snug it up. Clean our tools up. Now let's see if it'll start up. No bueno. Alright, so that's how you change the battery in a 2018 Ford Edge Sport. Now this would probably apply to a regular Ford Edge or up to probably to the current year model on how to do this. Now I did not, or am not, going to take this to the Ford place to have them reset the computer. I'm just going to see how it works for now, and if I have any issues, I'll run it by there and have them reset it. But this total job would probably take you 20-30 minutes to do, if not even quicker, if you had the battery ready to just swap out. Not a hard job. Like I said, you're going to need a little pair of 8mm and a 10mm sockets, a little ratchet, maybe a little pry bar to pry up the negative terminal, and that's basically it. Maybe some gloves and some safety glasses, and that's about all it's going to take to do this job. So if you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Comment down below and share this video to somebody that doesn't know how to change their own battery. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video.